Thomas, there is too little of what we really like in stories. I'm afraid we shall have to try and write some ourselves.
And so were the words that launched J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis into telling the creative stories that we keep coming back to today. But the problem that Lewis and Tolkien faced is a problem we still have. There is a famine of contemporary stories that plow the fertile soil of the mind in search of truth, instead of feeding us with tasteless spectacle or postmodern propaganda. So I decided to try and write one myself. I pulled out a pen and some paper and got to work brainstorming ideas. It began with disconnected concepts. A mysterious man in gray, a tower, a political conspiracy. But I kept threading the needle around bigger questions of what it means to be human and what it might mean to lose our humanity. Ideas that Lewis explored in The Abolition of Man. Before long, I had a story. A story of a restless man pulled into a government trial for a device that allows access to his memories in a vivid, dreamlike world as he struggles with who to trust about a strange object at the center of his mind. By the time my story was complete, I had another problem: how best to present it to the world. Instead of seeking a publisher, I decided to take an unorthodox approach and do something with it myself. Not just to take the text and publish it on my own, but to transform it into an audiobook that is less like an audiobook and more like listening to a movie. A theatrical podcast full of music, sound effects, and a cast of voice actors. Now, when the world is in desperate need of a different kind of story, you'll be able to listen to the tall tale that is the testimony of Calvin Lewis.
However real or unreal this story was, does not change a key point. Buried beneath the theatrics, you can, if only you dare look for it, find truth as plain as the sun.
All right, I think there's a good cut in there. Hopefully this will convince you to listen to my podcast. If it doesn't convince you to listen to my podcast, well then it's kind of a failure of a launch video. But if it doesn't convince you to listen to my podcast, I could try bribing you somehow, but I don't really have enough money to bribe a lot of people. So just listen to my podcast, listen to the audiobook, and then buy the book when it launches. That'd be cool. Or not. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's a free country.